Hey everybody, we are here at the Experience Day 2 and getting ready to start the day. Show's going to start. We've got quite a few guests lined up, and we're going to get started with our first guest, Jenee, but before we do that, being the first one of the day, we got to do the music first, so here we go. Welcome to the GMS Podcast, brought to you by GMS Distribution. GMS specializes in temporary portable power distribution equipment for the restoration contractor. I am your host and owner of GMS, Jared Steer, and today I will be talking to my friends. Yeah, there we go. So we're on. Jenee, how are you?
I'm great, Jared. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So you are here at the Experience Show. You're actually just catty corner of my booth.
I am.
And what are you guys doing over there?
Over in booth 606, RLMA Services.
Okay.
Which most will recognize as Raleigh-Lloyd's marketing assistants, and I'll get into how that came about. Primarily, my baby, so to speak, is for the live inbound answering. It's a system that we have in place. It's so much more than what most people think. Oh, you're an answering service.
Okay.
Yes, we are, but we're so much more.
Okay.
An answering service typically, as you would know, traditionally will accept the message. If you leave a voicemail, they'll maybe capture that and give you that information and turn it over to you. Their job's done. They're answering politely, as you would expect them to. Your customers would recognize that they are not part of your staff or are not part of your team. However, they are there in place strictly to take information, turn it over to you, and that they will relay to the customer that you will get back to them.
Okay,
and that's pretty much the gist of it.
And I've experienced that. I don't know what businesses I've called before, but yeah, I've definitely experienced that. Where
maybe if you call your doctor during lunch hour, for example.
Could be, yeah. But I'm definitely talking to someone who's they're just the middleman with the information.
Precisely.
And now I'm waiting on a call back.
Precisely.
Yes.
So one of the primary features that we offer with line inbound answering is we are using a remote workforce to do so. Prior to pandemic, I was the main agent that was accepting calls for carpet cleaning or restoration companies, whether they were in California, Indiana, or Florida, or Georgia, just to name a few.
Sure.
I was in Las Vegas, Nevada at the time, accepting calls, inbound calls, during the hours of operation. So Monday through Friday, Monday through Saturday, whatever those hours were for those businesses. And I would say, I don't know, for example, ABC Carpet Cleaning.
Yeah.
I would answer for them. There would be a signal. So if I got another call in on the same day from another company, and it could be XYZ Carpet Cleaning, and I would answer for them, and it would distinguish one from the other.
Okay.
So because I knew their services, I knew their menu and their pricing. I studied what their policies were, their methods of cleaning, whether they did dry cleaning or steam cleaning, for example.
So you're actually, I mean, you're becoming an employee of, like, you're studying, you're understanding the company that you're answering for.
Most definitely.
Okay.
But because I did get ahead of myself a little bit, let me give you a little bit of my background.
Okay.
I have well over 25 years. I'm going to learn to stop saying well over 25 years.
25 plus.
I am certainly aging myself. During the class, I explained to them, so that lets you know I've been doing this since I was 2.
Okay.
If you do the math, you would think I'm about 27, although we know that's not the truth, but I'll move on. I've been doing this for quite some time. After working for many corporations, person that answers the phone at the first point of contact, there should be a seamless transition from the first point of contact to the end of the service at the point of payment and then the follow-up call. Everything should be seamless, and it should appear that the person that answered the phone is an extension of you. And it gives you...
not to interrupt, I'm sorry, but I would agree that, I mean, when I've called services before and I can immediately identify that they're not who I want to talk to, my next reaction is make another phone call until I can get who I want to talk to.
Your questions are limited. You're ready to get off the phone quickly. There are no further questions that you want to know because they have demonstrated to you that there's a ceiling to what they can do for you.
Yeah.
In this case, however, with the live inbound answering, part of our mission is to become an extension of your workforce as you perform your services without any interruption. How can you perform your services so well when you have to stop to answer your phone line? You don't want to miss that call. That's the cry or the problem or the complaint of so many cleaners that I've spoken with.
Sure.
Is I miss too many calls. And then when they do miss the call, they want to make sure that that call converts to a job. Our team will be trained. They are industry trained.
Yeah.
By me and by, and I in turn was trained by my husband, who is Raleigh-Lloyd. And he's well known in the industry. He's been in the cleaning industry for, I can say well over with him. Well over 31 years.
Well, and for anybody who doesn't know Raleigh-Lloyd, where does he fit into the industry? How would we know him?
Raleigh-Lloyd fits into the industry. Most would know him as a person to go to as a marketing guru, if you will.
Okay.
That term causes me to cringe a little bit, but everyone's familiar with it, so let's go with that. That's
sure.
Okay. But as the marketing person for this industry, he's the gentleman to speak with about that because he knows how to get that done.
Expert in the industry.
You do have those that teach the fundamentals of cleaning.
Yeah.
And that's fine. That's their place, and that's where it should be. But once you learn the fundamentals of cleaning and you get everything that you need and you started your brand new business, how are you going to get your phone to ring?
The phone's got to ring. Yeah.
What are you going to do about a client base? What are you going to do to keep that customer coming back to you?
Yeah.
So this is what he's so good at.
Well, you say he's so good at. We're in my booth here at the show, but we can see Roger. He's conducting his own interview right outside the booth, certainly. And he has his video going, which I'm sure is going to be on the Facebook page.
Right.
And
he is the creator and administrator of the carpet cleaning world, and with the carpet cleaning world has a little over 6,000, actually more closely to 7,000. Somewhere 7,000 be a sweet spot, but there are an immense number of members in that group of owner operators and cleaners.
There's a lot of information, I'm sure, traded back and forth between everybody.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
And he's been it was about 3,000 when he and I met 3 years ago.
Okay.
We met in Las Vegas when he did the another trade show. I believe it was an ICE convention.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Something I had nothing to do with, but I at the time was living in Las Vegas.
Oh, okay.
Right. So the way this came about.
So interesting. I was at the ICE show.
Were you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would have been there.
We would have passed by each other.
We would
Roger
have.
was there too. So I was at the time living in Las Vegas. Prior to Roger and I meeting, because of the 25 years plus of experience that I have in customer service in many industries, whether it was lending or European day spa services.
Yeah.
And everything in between, I learned how to do lead generation for loan officers until I became a loan officer myself.
Okay.
So I have done a few things. As a single parent, I raised my children, so I had to know how to survive in that scene,
sure.
so to speak.
Yeah.
So in doing so, that's what I chose to do. Long story short, I was able to develop and become proficient at customer service. It's something that came naturally. My father was a business owner, as was my mother, and they would cringe if someone answered the phone improperly.
Sure.
And if you didn't provide them with the customer, that is, with an experience versus, you want your customer to always come back into the store. For my father's case, he was a retail business.
Okay.
So he wanted a repeat customer, which would turn into what? A client.
Yep.
He taught me that early on. So that's something that Roger and I kind of could connect and agree on.
Well, I think that's an important part, and I think every carpet cleaner understands that. First, you need the customer to call, but once they call, they need to become a repeat.
Right.
And then once you can retain a repeat customer, you need the customer to become a referral, and it goes on. But it only happens with, I'm saying that first impression, which is the phone call.
Right.
And how important that is. So I can see it on two different levels. One, first impression, that phone call has to be spot on.
Absolutely.
And then second, if you're the man in the van working, you're going to miss calls.
Absolutely.
And if you miss the call, they're going to call the next person. So this is a service that's almost, I would say, detrimental, but I mean, it's extremely important for the success of.
Huge benefit to this is you will experience fewer missed calls. Now, that's not to say I have been the customer. I'm such a consumer advocate. It's sickening. But I'm the customer that will be standing in front of you and you're answering a question for me and I'm asking you something, but because you're nervous or I've made you uncomfortable or maybe you don't want to really fully do your job, the phone's ringing, you stop what you're doing with me to pick up the phone. That's off-putting. So whatever's going on that phone, it might be some more money than I'm getting ready to spend. You don't know what I'm going to spend.
You want to feel important. Yeah.
You want to feel important. Yeah. You want to feel valued. And when you take that away from the customer,
especially when it's a service business call. I mean, service business. You that's why I'm coming to you because I need you to take care of me. And if you're going to ignore me immediately, then that's an issue. I can see a huge value. Now, how is coming to the experience? What are some of the conversations you're having here and with the attendees here? Well,
because we have this kiosk, they take a look here. We have a standalone digital kiosk poster that you'll see some of the services that we provide. And on the kiosk, it's demonstrating just what we are talking about. In this case, there's a young man cleaning a mattress, I believe, and he stops what he's doing to take a call right in the middle of asking the customer if he'd like to upgrade to another service. So A, he loses the upgrade by taking the phone call, and B, not likely that the customer is going to call back for his services. No matter how well he cleaned and performed his service, when you leave the customer with a less than great experience, they're very likely to pick up and call the next person that'll pick up the phone.
And I 100% agree. It wasn't a less than good experience. It's a less than great experience.
Right.
And that's where it starts.
Right.
Absolutely. No, it's great. Jenee, it was so good talking to you.
It's been my pleasure.
I'm sure you are too. We got 2 more days at this show. There's still a lot of people coming through.
And they're coming through.
Larry announcing something we can hear in the background.
Yes, we can.
And thank you for taking the time and talking with us today.
Thank you for having me, Jared. I appreciate it.